Recording.
Okay, let's go. Hey guys, in the next 5 minutes, I'll show you which are the best webinar software out there. No bullshit, let's get started. You know, 2 years back, if you had invited me to a webinar, I would have skipped it. Webinars were a thing that sales team did for onboarding new clients. Fast forward to 2020, webinars are everywhere. I have been invited to webinars every day, and I'm completely okay with seeing faces boxed out into little videos and going through that first 5 minutes of, hey, can you hear me? Are you on mute? All that kind of drama. Well, one thing is for sure, webinars are here to stay. At least up until we are allowed to have actual conferences and events. So I've been looking for the best webinar software recently and tested a bunch of different software. Oh man, I didn't know that there was so many out there and so many features for each of them. So I thought, why not really share all of this into a video so that you benefit? Let's get started. For those of you who are new here, my name is Mani Karthik, and on this channel and my blog, I share everything that I've learned, everything from personal finance to spirituality and everything in between. I hope the content I share here is useful to you. So, webinars. First off, I need to clarify how I define and how you should define webinars. Webinars aren't just random video calls or meetings. Think of an offline conference. There's a speaker on the stage and there are listeners. There might be co-speakers or panelists. There might be Q&A sessions from the listeners. Pamphlets or takeaways are given at the end of the session. Not everybody is on the video. Just the speaker is, or the panelists are. Rest everyone are listeners. So now webinars are taking this concept online. One guy is presenting an idea, everyone else listens or participates if invited through audio or video, and at the end of it, there might be question and answer sessions. Simple sa concept hai, but people usually misunderstand it. The biggest misconception is that Zoom meetings are webinars. No, they're not. In Zoom meetings or Google Meet meetings, everyone's participating. Everyone's on video, everyone's talking. It's a group chat kind of an experience. Of course, you can make a Zoom call into a webinar-like experience if you mute everyone by default and only allow one person do all the talking. But that's not just it. There are other features too that makes a webinar a webinar. Let me tell you. One, I should be able to invite people to the webinar, not just with a link, but with a registration form if possible, so that I know who is attending, how many are attending. With Zoom meetings, you don't have the visibility into that. Also, I need to send confirmation emails and reminders for people who have registered already, sometimes before the webinar, sometimes after the webinar, and just reminding them when it is coming up so that nobody misses out. And if I'm using Zoom meetings, I don't know how to do it. Third, I want to be able to sell tickets for my webinar. Let's say I have an exclusive webinar on a certain topic, then those who wishes to participate should be able to pay for the tickets. So some kind of payment gateway integration is required. With normal video call meetings, I will have to use some kind of third-party integrations, and it's usually tough. Fourth, I want to be able to take questions from the attendees during the webinar. And if there's a question everyone wants to ask, they should be able to upvote for the popular questions. Too much to ask, huh? Well, just a few features, no? I know. See, proper webinars should be run this way. Of course, we can have band-aid solutions with different tools stitched together, but what's the fun in that? So now that we have defined what a webinar is, let's look at which are the best ones out there. Number one on my list is Zoom webinars. I know what you're thinking. Didn't I tell you that Zoom meetings aren't webinars? So why? Well, of course, Zoom meetings aren't webinars, but Zoom has a webinar add-on. It'll cost you around rupees 3,500 per month, but it's worth the price. Here's what it'll let you do. Number one, it can run an actual webinar where one person presents and everybody else listens. Attendees can ask questions during the event and others can upvote for questions. The host can ask polls during the event and even at the end ask for feedback. The highlight of Zoom webinar is that the video and audio quality is amazing. Its marketing features, however, are a bit basic. You can have a registration form where interested participants can sign up well ahead of the event. You can also set up email reminders to be sent to them at various time intervals, like emails reminding them of the event and after it's over. Compared to some other webinar tools out there, the marketing features on Zoom are pretty basic, like I mentioned, but where it really wins is in the quality of audio and video. Plus, the brand value. Everybody at this point know what Zoom is and what it does. No other software have that kind of familiarity and popularity with the brand. The real downside of Zoom, however, is not any of this. It's that it's expensive and that it lacks in marketing features. A webinar add-on will cost you rupees 3,500 per month for a 100-seater webinar, and you have to have the pro or paid account of Zoom already. So in total, you'll be shelling out around $55 or rupees 4,800 per month. So it's slightly expensive. On top of that, it lacks its marketing features. Like the only marketing integration they offer natively is with a marketing software called Pardot, which is a very high-end marketing automation tool. I don't know of anyone who uses it other than some enterprise companies. So essentially, you cannot send emails or import the webinar attendees' email list to any other marketing tools like MailChimp easily. You can only use it as a webinar solution, and that's it. I like that they have a paid webinar solution though. You can integrate your PayPal ID with Zoom so that you can set an entry fee for your webinars and perhaps sell tickets. So is it worth the price? I would say yes. If you're looking for a pure webinar solution with zero marketing and very good high quality audio and video output, then Zoom is your best bet. I have some coupon codes available for Zoom, so if you're looking to buy Zoom, just check with me. I might be able to get you a discount. Number 2 on my list is Demio. Demio is a webinar software for marketers, which means it covers all the marketing feature shortcomings of a tool like Zoom. They claim that their video and audio quality are better than Zoom. I couldn't completely agree to it. Yes, it's good, but on prolonged usage, the stability is kind of an issue. But where Demio wins is in the marketing features. They have flexible and good-looking registration forms and landing pages, something that Zoom doesn't have. They have a healthy integration ecosystem going on with many apps that marketers commonly use. When Zoom allows integration only with Pardot, Demio integrates seamlessly with marketing apps. The result is that you can export all the webinar attendee emails from Zoom to your marketing platforms like MailChimp and use it from there. If you use webinars as a marketing tool, then Demio is an excellent choice. It's not as stable as Zoom for video and audio, especially when there are too many people attending the webinar, but great for everything else. Third on my list is WebinarJam. The first thing you will notice about WebinarJam is that it looks like a sales tool. Too many features that are meant to be for sales. But under all of that, WebinarJam is a great tool that has evolved over the years. You'll see that it's a webinar software that has stood the test of time. It's got all the features that every other tool boasts of, like Q&A sessions, polls, meeting rooms, live chat, etc. It may not have the aesthetics of a modern minimal webinar tool, but it does the job really well. My personal opinion is that WebinarJam is great for sales nurturing and less for marketing. Like if you have a SaaS product to sell and you want to get those people who are interested to buy your product on a webinar and sell them the product as fast as you can, WebinarJam is the perfect solution for you. It has a great waiting room experience, good interactive tools like handouts, polls, Q&As, everything that you need to run a good sales-oriented webinar. What I wish was better on WebinarJam is their price. You have to buy WebinarJam for a full 1 year if you need to try it. There's no demo available. Of course, you can refund if you don't like it, but it sounds like a very pushy way to sell. I personally stay away from such stuff. Fourth on my list is Zoho Meeting. Zoho is a whole suite of tools for businesses. They've got everything from emails to CRM to video conferencing and whatnot. Webinars is just one part of the mix. First things first, what really attracted me to Zoho was the pricing. At some rupees 300 per month, Zoho sounded like a great option. It was so much cheaper than all the other platforms out there. And so I tried it. It had everything I wanted in a webinar. Scheduling, email alerts, polls, Q&A, and all of that. I was so excited to try the product, but when I actually tried it, it was a huge letdown. The video and audio quality of Zoom sucked like anything. I'm not sure if it was my settings, but the quality was below average. I thought I found a great product finally, but on testing, everything just poof, disappeared. If you're looking for a super cheap option, then yes, nothing else beats Zoho, but in terms of quality, it won't make you happy. I guess Zoho is not really focusing much on this piece of software as they have this whole suite of different tools out there. It has everything that leading webinar tools must have, but are they the best? Probably not. Let's move on to the next one. Fifth best webinar app on my list is Livestorm. Livestorm is a great piece of software. You'll notice their attention to detail and quality right from the website. Just like Zoho, they have two offerings, meetings and webinars. We'll focus on webinars. So here's what happens with a Livestorm webinar. First and foremost, there's no download required for Livestorm. Everything happens and stays on the web. You can run three types of webinars with Livestorm: live webinars, automated, and on-demand webinars. Automated and on-demand webinars are nothing but pre-recorded webinars that can be played either on demand or on autoplay. Like for example, if you have a sales presentation that has the same content to be run with prospects, you can run pre-recorded content through on-demand and automated webinars. But we are more interested in live webinars. Livestorm is a lightweight online webinar tool that lets you run multiple participant webinars with all the bells and whistles you need, like live chat, screen sharing, full HD videos, polls, and such. What you will love with Livestorm is that their video and audio quality is pretty much exceptional. Of course, you have to use a modern browser like Google Chrome and have a good quality internet connection. Livestorm has beautiful registration pages that you can customize to your liking. You can send beautiful emails as well. Their whole UI and UX is great. You can easily navigate between things and get to do everything easily. The only problem with Livestorm is that it's expensive and comes with crazy limits on each plan. For example, they have a free webinar option where there is a 20-minute limit per session and a maximum of 10 attendees per webinar, which is understandable. It is a free plan. Zoom doesn't even have the free plan for its webinar add-on. But even on the paid plans, there are limits. Like their premium plan comes at 89 euros or around $100. On this plan, you can have a maximum of 4 hours per webinar and 100 attendees only. I feel that's pretty tight considering the price point. But as a fair argument, Livestorm has a bunch of features that makes it a unique offering, like customizable and brandable webinar rooms, clickable CTAs, Q&As, chats, HD videos, and a host of marketing features. Also, Livestorm has a bunch of integrations right out of the box and a lot of analytics. Pretty handy if you want to go all in. But still, I feel it's a little bit overpriced. Just my personal opinion. So which is the best webinar software out there? Well, it's difficult to say. I don't think there is one webinar software that is far better than everyone else. There are ones that are slightly better than the other ones, and that's about it. But if I were to choose one from every other webinar software that's out there, I would choose Zoom. It's solid, offers great audio and video quality, and the standard features that you would expect from a webinar software is available. Of course, if you're looking to host webinars for marketing purposes, Zoom may not be the best option. For those who are looking at webinars as a lead generation and marketing tool, Demio or Livestorm may be a better option. If you're looking for a sales platform, then WebinarJam is your best bet. If you want a super economic option, then nothing like Zoho. And if you don't care about the price, then Livestorm is your best choice right now. It's got everything from a basic webinar setup to advanced marketing features. So I would recommend you choose a webinar tool based on what really you need and what your objectives are. Going by what is really popular out there may not be a wise decision to make. Find something that works for you and your needs. Well, that's about it. The 5 best webinar software out there. I hope you found this video useful. If yes, hit that like button. If not, hit that dislike button so that I know, and it would motivate me for making better content for you. If you disagree with anything I just mentioned in this video or have a question, please let me know in the comment section below. This is Mani Karthik signing off.